Hello! I just want to share with you this fun story of how we got our little guy here. It was a really crazy little lesson and opportunity from the universe. And so this is how it goes. I first have to preface it by saying that I am a crazy cat lady. I love cats so much. And I used to have a kitty, but I rehomed her to a very good home when I was younger, and like about 4 or 5 years ago. And it kind of left a hole in my heart, and I didn't know when I would be able to get a kitty again. And I've always said, whenever the right time is, a kitten is just going to cross my path. I don't know where, I don't know how, but it's just going to fall in my lap, and I'll know that it's the right time. And so there's that piece of it. And then also, additionally, I have really been soaking in these lessons of non-attachment from the universe. I have been drawing guidance cards that tell me that I need to focus on my overdependency on others. And so that's kind of been something that I have really been hyper aware of and trying to navigate in my own life. So here's the story of the kitten. I woke up one morning to my boyfriend standing over me holding this little guy, this crying guy. I had my earplugs in and I could hear this faint I thought it was an alarm. I woke up to my boyfriend standing over me with a crying kitten, and he was like, I've got to go to work. And this little guy was left on the doorstep, and I was like, what? So I got up. Turns out he was just abandoned on the doorstep in his carrier with food on the front doorstep. And he was just crying, tiny little babe. And I put him in the bathroom, got him to calm down, spent maybe about an hour and a half with him before I was going to try and go back to sleep, when I heard a woman crying, and then there was a knock at my door. And so I opened it, and it was this, kind of middle-aged, little, older looking woman, and she was just crying and hysterical. She was like, my husband left my cat on your doorstep last night, and, is he here? And when I said yes, she was just like, oh my god, can I please have him back? And, so, of course, I had to give the kitty back to her, but I just had, these knots and this pit in my stomach, and I just kind of begged the woman to let me keep the kitty. I was like, she told me that she was homeless and that she's living in the tents across the way from my house, next to the freeway, and I just told her that I knew she was trying her best, but if she wanted the kitten to, have a good home, she could leave him with us anytime. And she wasn't making complete sense, was kind of mumbling about how her husband really needed to see the kitty, and that she's like, I'll probably bring him back, but I just have to take him now. And I was like, whatever, I'm not going to see this lady again. And she took the kitten. I cried, and I didn't know what to do. I posted about it, and thankfully so many friends and people reached out and were just like, that cat, you don't know what the destiny of that cat is, and for whatever reason, it's supposed to be with this woman, obviously. So I was able to let it go. I felt really good about that. It was hard at first, but I truly let it go. I was like, you're right, I need to be unattached. And then it was not even, I think it was 2 days later, I was in the kitchen getting some water. It was nighttime. We had our front and back door open for air circulation. And there was this little sushi roll kitten toy that had gotten left behind. And I saw it on the ground, and I just thought to myself, I was like, if I ever see that woman again, I'm just going to give this toy back to her so that the kitten can have it. Because there aren't any hard feelings. I don't know what I'm going to do with this thing, whatever. It was just a little thought in my head. And I turn around, and I shit you not, that woman was just standing in our front doorway. And it scared the shit out of me. And she had the carrier with the kitten in it and all the food. And she was just like, if you still want her, she's yours. It is technically a boy, but the woman was calling it a girl. And she's like, if you still want her, she's yours. I've got to move camps again. My husband and I have 18 years. Are splitting ways, and she's annoying, and I just can't take her, and all the reasons. So, and then she went on to tell us that they had named the kitten Keanu after the Kitten movie, which is pretty hilarious, but we were not going to keep it Keanu. There was another piece in there that I totally forgot to mention, is that the way it just all clicks together from the universe. So I haven't spoken with my mother regularly in years. It's a part of my story. I'm not going to go into it now. But I decided to call her last month because I've been thinking about her a lot, catch up with her. It was a great conversation, so I called her again this month to wish her happy birthday, and I mentioned the kitten to her. And she called me back immediately after we got off the phone, and coincidentally, I didn't get the voicemail for another 2 hours, which was random and weird, never happens. But she left me a voicemail and was like, my boyfriend and I want to take that kitten, and we'll drive down tomorrow and pick it up if you're available. And it was just like a really crazy feeling of serendipitous moment where it was like, we got the kitten, it was ripped away from us, we got it back, and then we also got an opportunity to pass it along if we wanted to. And we spent a lot of time debating about if we really wanted this kitten, because obviously it's an animal, and with my past, I don't want to just take on something that I'm not going to feel like I can or want responsibility for in the future. I hate how I changed my mind and end up being a completely irresponsible person. Like, that's not cool. So we had a lot of debates. And I debated a lot with my intuition and with my rebel tendencies of wanting to do the opposite of what is expected or what I am being told, whether it's from myself or from somebody else. But we did decide to keep him. So we have taken him to the vet, found out that it is a boy. We're thinking that he's about 7 weeks old. The vet said 8 because he weighs 2 pounds, but he also had some severe bloating and obvious like dysbiosis going on in the gut, so, and worms and all that kind of stuff. So we got that taken care of, and we're guessing he's 7 weeks. We're going to dub his birthday June 4th, and we have named him Gunter. Gunter from Adventure Time, and he's just the cutest little guy you ever did see, except he's very playful right now and won't let me pick him up. So let's see if you can get a little peek. That is the story of how we got Gunter.